starts off small. You get a taste of it. Soon, you need it more and more. It's like a virus. It consumes you. It rages through your system. And once you get to that stage, you can't turn back. The music is an addiction. It's your one shot at living forever. I guess the feeling is universal, because I've learned it applies to other things too.
And one of those other things happens to be being a vampire. What's up, folks? This is Krush here. Let's jump right into it. This time we're taking a look at a movie called Immortal. Now, I have a strange little history with this movie right here. I first saw this when I was like 16, 17 years old. This came out in, I think, 1995. So it was like 96, 97. I rented this from a local store across the street from my house, Cinemaplex. And, this is an independent film, like an underground independent film. So back then I was still into my mainstream horror stuff. No, I wasn't really into the underground scene yet. So I was still a teenager, like I said, 16, 17. So I kind of watched it once, forgot about it. A couple of years ago, for some reason, this movie popped up in my head. I was like, hey. I was like, yeah, there was this movie called Immortal about a vampire, da-da-da. And I went online. I tried downloading it. And nothing. I couldn't find no information on it. Nothing for downloading. So I started checking in the Internet Movie Database. Wikipedia wasn't up yet. I just started like Google. I just kept going online in search engines, trying to find something about this fucking movie. Finally, last year, I started going hardcore, trying to find shit about it. So it's pissing me off. It's like, I remember seeing the fucking movie. I was asking people about it. Nobody heard of it before. I can't even find fucking so much as one webpage about it online. I can't even find it mentioned in anything. So now, I went on Wikipedia, and I pulled up, vampire movies, a list of vampire movies. I had it broken down by decade. I went through every single fucking movie that was released in the fucking 90s. Everything from 1990 all the way up to fucking, 1999, 2000, 2001. And it's like, I knew the name of the fucking movie was Immortal. I went through all these movies, pulling up, clicking on them, checking out the descriptions and shit to see if something matched up. I was like, well, maybe for some reason they changed the fucking name of the movie. I don't know why they would, but I've actually seen that happen before. I could not find any fucking information on this fucking movie. And it was pissing me off because I wanted to see it again. Because, I remembered kind of the main story about it, but that was it. I wanted to check it out again. And finally, a couple of months ago, when I was searching for it again, I found one web page, some website, which I erased it after I picked up this movie. I should have kept it. So I found one website. All it had, it was like a white page, and it had a screenshot of the cover of this, and then a small write-up of the stuff on the back of it, kind of about the plot. But that was it. That was all the information. Nothing else. The Internet Movie Database, there's another movie called The Immortals. Eric Roberts and some other people starring in it that I think came out around the same time, but I think that's a gangster movie or something, or some kind of crime drama. But it's not this. And that's The Immortals, not Immortal. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this movie has to fucking exist. And this past weekend, I went up to Albany. I live in Kingston. I went up to Albany, and my wife wanted a new iPod. So we went up to the Apple store, and there was a video game store there called J Street Games that they sell retro games for, Game Boy, old school Nintendo, Genesis, shit like that. And so I went up because I wanted to go because I wanted to pick up some new games. And, of course, I get up there, I'm all pissed off because my wife got her new iPod. The store wasn't in the mall anymore. They just opened, last year. I was there, when they were still getting set up. And, then, I don't know, business must have sucked till they left that mall. So I'm all pissed off. We're heading back to the car. I was like, I happened to see a FYE out the corner of my eye. I was like, fuck it. I was like, I want to go walk through here, see if I can find something. I go on the one end of the horror section. There's this fucking lady there with her fucking two little bratty kids running around, sitting there hogging the aisle, trying to talk to the fucking one of the employees that work there about, oh, is this movie good? Oh, is this movie good? It's like, bitch, you're fucking got two kids running around. You shouldn't be watching horror movies like that. So I'm standing there waiting for him to move, getting more fucking aggravated by this passing second. I was like, fuck this. I ran around the other side, and I was gonna go down the aisle to look at movies, but I was like, she's pissed me off. I don't want to be fucking anywhere near her. I was like, fuck this mall, fuck these people. I'm getting the fuck out of here. So I turned to head back out of the aisle, and I happened to look as I'm about to go around the corner, and there, on the fucking rack, right in front, fucking facing me, is fucking Immortal. Only copy they had in the fucking store, it was $10. It was $9.99. I didn't think twice about it. I just fucking grabbed it, fucking picked it up, gave it to my wife. I was like, we need to fucking check out for this shit and leave. I was like, if I don't pick this up now, I am never, ever, ever going to see this fucking movie again. Now that I've gotten it, and it's funny, I still can't find much information online. I did go into Google the other day, and after I picked it up, and now, of course, there's like I get a couple hits about it. But like, when I first got this, I still couldn't find Internet Movie Database. I still couldn't find this movie on an Internet Movie Database. There's all kinds of shit for Immortal, but nothing for this movie. I had to go through that on the back for the actors, and I had to put in like 3 different actors' names before I found one that had something to do with this fucking movie. Well, finally, so the Internet Movie Database does have a page for this movie, but you have to go through. Got to pull up one of the actors on the back in order to access the page. Because if you just do an Internet Movie Database search for Immortal, nothing's coming up. You're not gonna find nothing. Now, that being said, there was one review on the Internet Movie Database, which this guy definitely isn't into independent, underground horror cinema. So, I don't give a shit if I get in trouble for fucking reading this or not. Like I said, this is, before I get into what I think of the movie, let me read you a review of this guy's review. Okay, that's not the review, that's the synopsis. Here we go. Okay. This was posted up there by Bob the Barbarian, somewhere here in the United States, on August 30th, 2010. So it was just about 4 years ago. I cannot believe this movie has a 5.3 rating at the time. I am rating this. This movie cannot even be called a movie. It's more like some idiot got a camera and started videotaping himself. Dialogue? I mean, I seriously don't believe there's any through the first half of the movie. The guys who made this movie must have really thought their band was cool, because they take every chance they can to show off their musical talents, which of they have none. The beginning of the movie is just their band playing for the 10 minutes straight, then nothing happens. Then he tells this kid he's going to teach him guitar, but then he just bite his neck instead. All of a sudden he has a girlfriend and they go walk on some pipes. End of movie. This isn't even a vampire movie except for the 1 or 2 times he bites someone. I mean, it's just terrible and painfully boring. If you watch this movie, God have pity on your soul. If you see this at a garage sale or something for like 10 cents, stay the hell away from it. Do yourself a favor. I mean, I paid $1 for this nasty thing and it has haunted me since. So right there, this dude's fucking can't even speak fucking English right. But you can see he obviously wasn't paying attention to the fucking movie. So, okay, basically, okay, hold on, sorry. That was a lot I need to drink. Okay, so basically what we got here is a teenage kid, he's in a band. They play alternative stuff like maybe like Soul Asylum, like pretty much like go on YouTube, or if you have it, go online, pull up a track listing for the soundtrack to Clerks, because that's basically like the kind of music that's in this movie. So, pretty much the kid's in the band, he plays guitar, but he's a vampire. And nobody in the band knows except for one guy who's like his best friend. And this dude actually helps him clean up the bodies sometimes. And, but anyway, his name's Dex. I forget what his last name is, but it starts with a D. But, yeah, so Dex is a vampire, and he's actually had his thirst for blood under control for a while, but it's starting to overtake him again. And he ends up getting distracted and being late for, band rehearsal. They're going to to studios. They're renting out a studio to try and record an album. Keep showing up. By the time he shows up, the next band's there, and they get the booths and shit. But, the girl that runs the club, is kind of his girlfriend. She's getting all worried about him. 'Cause everybody thinks that he's got, like, this drug issue. Everybody thinks he's becoming, like, a junkie. Just because of the way that he's acting. He's always late. He's fucking, like, acting irresponsible and shit. But they don't realize he's a fucking vampire. And he's got fucking, like, shit that he can't tell them about. So, in a way, he does have a sickness. It's not a drug sickness. It's something else. So, and basically, like, throughout the movie, it's just, like, more and more. It's kind of like a character study, where you follow Dex as, like, he spirals down the fucking wormhole, and like, now after a while, a detective shows up because people start going missing. So now all of a sudden there's a detective out, and pretty much his girlfriend's pissed at him. The band members are all pissed at him. So basically his world just got turned to shit. So then he does research because he wants to try and beat his vampirism, and he finds out through his research about this other guy that was a vampire. And he goes, the guy's name is This dude's fucking weird looking too. He reminds me of the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. And I think he's actually been in a few other movies too. And so he goes to see Willie. Come to find out, Willie knew his parents. So, like, they kind of have a history before that Dex didn't know about. But, Wiley, or whatever the fuck his name is, he was able to beat his vampirism through sheer force of will. Which is fucking pretty hardcore, but he's fucking kind of loopy. So, they kind of take it from there, like, it's almost, because the drug references keep coming back up. So it's kind of like the vampirism, his thirst for blood is kind of like a drug, and they kind of play with it like, okay, well, how do you kick drugs? You're gonna go through withdrawals, so you pretty much like you gotta lock yourself up and just like deal with it, and fucking not do it, and eventually your body will get used to not having it, and it'll get better. But he's good. He's been going for a while, and but he's on stage and he passes out, and just because he hasn't had blood in a while, he's always sick and tired, and what you imagine a junkie would be that's going through withdrawal. But his girlfriend's over, and he's having a real bad time, and she goes to console him, and he can't help it. He fucking the thirst and the hunger is too strong, and he ends up biting his girlfriend. So he was like, fuck this. He drops everything, fucking picks up, goes to a different town, tries to start over. And that was another thing, like, not being able to find much information, well, basically no information about this movie. Like, Wiley, the dude, with the that he goes to see that he had some history with. Like, because Wiley starts telling him, it's like, I knew your parents, and your parents weren't vampires. It skipped a generation. So basically, like, Dex's grandparents were vampires, and it skipped his parents when they had kids, and then he was born a vampire. And so I wanted to find out more about Wiley. Because Wiley had this pocket watch with his initials like scratched in it that Dex had, and Dex I think got it from his parents or something. So he brought the thing to return to him. But then later on, when he's at when he's playing on a street corner by himself after he leaves town, some lady dressed in black comes walking by, dumps the pocket watch in his guitar case, and now it's got Dex's initial scratch in it. It's like, who the fuck is that lady? See, this is one movie where it's pretty self-explanatory if you just watch, pay attention. But there's like stuff like that I want to read, like what other people think and get some more theories on, and I can't because this movie doesn't exist. Excuse me. So yeah, it's a vampire movie. He like I say, he's in a band. He's trying to control his thirst for blood, but it overtakes him. He tries to get help and not be a vampire anymore, and to become human and loses immortality. Doesn't work. He ends up falling off the wagon, and so he leaves town so it doesn't hurt anybody else that he loves. End of story. So okay, now that we got that out of the way. DVD. I don't remember there being any issues when I watched this the first time years ago, but I don't know what they did with this DVD, but it wasn't like mastered or anything or remastered, because the kind of audio was all over the place. The video could have been a lot better. They could have cleaned up the video, because some of it was kind of like blurry and stuff, but there was a lot of audio glitches to when there was like a lot of stuff going on. You could hear like a tick 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 almost. It almost sounded like it was a record skipping or something, and it kind of bugged me out the first time because I didn't know what it was. But then it happened again, and I kind of caught it. And then, so it happens like pretty like the first half of the movie is alright. It's not bad, but it seems like once the halfway point hits in the movie, there's some like defects in the DVD. So like I said, the video and stuff could have been better from the beginning. Then the audio hiccups start being weird and shit. So there's some video, like there's like how you'd see like a cigarette burn, what they call cigarette burns, like in the upper corner of a movie when they're gonna change the reel in the theater. So now you see like a circle up in the upper corner, and you'll see one flash, and then a couple seconds later it'll flash again. It's an industry term called cigarette burn. But there was like these green lights I noticed every once in a while that would like there was like 4 or 5 of them that would flash, and a couple seconds later you'd see them flash again. So I was like, okay, is that that same thing as like cigarette burn? What the hell is that? So, definitely if you can track down this movie, if you're into vampire movies, okay, there's really, it's an independent movie. Know what you're getting into before you try and track this down. There really wasn't much special effects. Like I said, he bites a couple of people. He gets shot or stabbed. No, he gets shot at one point, and you see him heal, and he gets mugged outside of the club, and he kills the one dude, and the other dude takes off running, and he goes and chases him down, fucking rips his head off, and throws it. That was kind of funny. And he tears up this other dude in the club, and this jack off in this other review was saying, he teaches guitar lessons for extra money, and this one kid that he was teaching fucking shows up, and this kid would not shut the fuck up. He was just talking. Dex is sitting there trying to show him how to play chords and shit, and the kid's just talking, like, oh no, wait, I gotta show you this. And he goes to play, so you just see Dex fucking, he let his hunger take over. So the fucking kid took it. The kid got taken out. That was pretty funny. But yeah, for the most part, it was a drama. Like I said, pretty much just following Dex on his descent into not madness, but he's trying to help himself, but it gets to be too much, and eventually he just has to leave and start over. So yeah, I definitely try. I watching this like I wish that this was like remastered, so this way I could have enjoyed it a little better, especially the second half with the audio shit. It's kind of pissing me off a little bit, but yeah, Immortal. If you can check it out, if you can find a copy of it, um, yeah, if you want to see it that bad and you can't find it, leave me a comment or something. Maybe I can see if I can burn a copy of this. I can burn some DVDs, and like I said, we can work something out if you want to see it. If you're into vampire movies and you're into like rock and roll and shit, like I said, like the Clerks soundtrack is about what you're gonna get musically out of this movie. That's what all the bands in this movie play. So, I give the movie 2 thumbs up. Like I said, it's an independent movie, so know what you're getting into. It's a very low budget. I kind of agree with the dude, with the other guy, where it was pretty much just looked like this guy got a bunch of his friends together and made the movie. But I've seen a lot of like no budget, low budget movies where like the acting was just ridiculous. They were at least trying here. The acting was it was decent for what it is. They were at least trying, and I think they did pretty well. Done a lot better than I could probably fucking do. But yeah, so it's Immortal. Check it out if you can. If not, like I said, let me know. Maybe we can work out a deal or something. Yeah, so I got some things I'm working on, and I'll get a couple more reviews up soon, and that's it for now. This is Krush. See you later.